So let's start the bread. I've prepared from yesterday a sourdough starter. This is a very difficult flour. It's called zea. The Latin name is dicoccum triticum. It's a kind of emmer or spelt, something like that. So it's not easy to make bubbles on this. So I put a lot of starter. So usually you need around 20%. This will be almost half of the weight is the sourdough starter. So look at this beauty now. It's full of holes. And the sound, you don't get it, but it's, you see all these big holes. This is super alive. So I took advantage that it's very cold in the production, and I let it mature overnight outside of the oven. Usually the oven, I put it at 30, I leave it for some hours, it grows, and blah, blah, blah. I didn't want to get it too sour because I don't like it. So I didn't want to ferment and ferment and ferment. And I took advantage of the temperature of the space, which is around 16, 17 degrees. What do? We throw the ingredients now. What I like to do is to put some of the sesame that I have put on the walls of the pan to make it non-stick. This is actually from the previous bread, from the walls, as I said. And it has butter and it's roasted, so it's fantastic flavor. And I throw quite some, we don't care. Maybe I will throw more later. But this adds fantastic flavor. Then we need around 1% salt. So this thing will be around 5 kilos of bread. I don't want it that salty. This is a commercial percentage. I want from 0.8 and less. So I will weight around 40 grams. And the scale I use for the cocaine, it says, Mike, don't use it, but we're not legal here. So this is fantastic Japanese thing, really accurate, it's very good. I was using it in the when I used to fix laboratory equipment. It's very accurate, it's very nice. And very expensive for what it is. I think it's around 120 euros. So go to 0. There, and the boring job of grinding 40 grams. I think that I will be run out of salt. Yeah, I am. Give me a minute, I will go to reload and I will be back. We are full again and we continue grinding. So let me tell you a story about this Himalayan salt. It's just salt with the minerals, and it's actually stones, powder of stones with salt. It's amazing story to sell. You can clean a bit less thorough the horta. Horta is some wheat that we boil and eat. Take some soil from there, but okay. It's fancy, it's different. And it sells So we have 40 grams. Okay, because we'll have 4 kilos of bread. Sorry, 5 to 6. Japan goes away, Japanese. So we throw the salt here. It's a big bread. Also, I will make from this bread a sweet bread. I hope that I will have time to video that recipe. So this is a percentage. I forgot to take some of the sourdough. Give me a minute. So this is the starter actually that I keep. It's left overnight to start bubbling. It doesn't because it's super cold. So I will help it with this starter that it's already in very good condition. Whoop, we're out of camera. So I will inoculate the starter actually. That's it. We don't need more. I will mix it a bit. Ready. This is enough. After a week it will be fantastic. We keep the bread for at least a week in the fridge and we don't have problems. So we mix these ingredients because it's easier to mix them while this is super soft. And it's ready. I will go for the flours. I like to use this carb flour. Okay, for the one that you don't understand Greek, it's the holy carob flour because it's from the Madonna's meals. But actually fantastic, they use a whole carob. The flavor is amazing. And you don't need a lot because it's very, very strong. I put it just for the color. I use also the trick of the commercial breads that says with carob flour or carob flour bread, and it has 2%. This is enough. We have to measure very carefully. This is, I don't have a clue, it just covers the surface, but you will see it's enough. You don't need a lot. So in the beginning I have had a few, and then more, and then more, and then more, till, I mean more times, after a new bread, and a new bread, and a new bread, and then I realized that I don't want more because it's covering all the other flavors because it's too intense. So continue with the mixing, it will become like it has cacao, this one. And it smells, wow, amazing, amazing. They say that carob is the seed that saved the Cretans at the periods of wars. It's like putting cacao powder, it's that strong, so don't put a lot. I think that I found the analogy. Yeah, it's a cacao powder analogy. Don't put a lot. So this is very well mixed with the salt. Let's add some sugar also, but we are gourmet, so we will add honey. It's not sugar. Honey gives a very nice texture. This is enough. We don't want it to be too sweet. We just want a bit of sweetness in the salty and a bit of salt in the sweet. So this is enough. We'll mix it now that it's easy. Okay, I didn't count, but let's say that it is around, it's less than 100 grams of flour, and that was around 60 grams of honey. So it is again 1% of honey, 1.5% top of carb flour. We don't want to be sweet, but it gives a very nice, interesting texture at the bread. Let's throw some nuts. Nuts you don't have to count, you just put as many as you like. But if you want to say that you count, this is around 50 grams. Let's see if I'm right. Let's take our Japanese friend. And wait, my style of Coke. I'm completely wrong. This is 20 grams. Okay, let's go to 50. 40, I don't want more. It's enough. So 40 grams in 6 kilos of bread, or wherever we will end up, let's see. Whoop. We have also walnuts from our neighbor Elpida, our Cretan mom. I want them crushed, I don't want them whole. And that's it, all inside. These are a few. Let's put some more. Okay, so it's around 20 grams 30. So it's 0.5% of walnuts and 0.8% of sunflower for the guys that want to measure everything. And we mix again. Now that it's easy and soft. And this is ready. Let's go for the flour now. Because it is a sourdough bread, you never know how much flour you need. You have to go with the texture. It has to be a bit sticky on the hand, at the end. The problem with this flour is that it is coarse grinded. It's not super fine. So after some time, it absorbs the humidity, and you will see that you have to wait a bit. Whoop. Let's see where we are. Now it needs some patience because I will not edit the video and we have to be patient, very patient. Your homemade bread is a slow food process. What I do now, I didn't throw the water inside because the starter has a lot of humidity. We want to absorb all the water with the flour. We'll see that we already have almost enough water. Whoa! It went away. It's running away. Don't worry about cleanliness. Everything will be cooked 180 degrees for 1 hour and 20. Most of the things are dead inside there. Okay, inside it's not that much. Inside the bread, it's only inside the oven. Okay, the temperatures are really high. So this one is already in a good, not not only texture, it's a bit sticky. You see it's already on my finger. Let's see it here. Definitely needs more water. It's very heavy. The water system. The water, oh, somebody took it away. I'm coming back. The water and the temperature of the water. We have to put our finger inside the water and feel it a bit warm for the finger. Somewhere like high fever. 40 something degrees is okay. We don't want more because it might burn the yeast or the sourdough that we're using. And if you put the water cold, it needs a lot of time to start, and I don't have time, and I think that it is better. A lot of people say that it has to be warm, the water. Of course, in the summer I don't care because we have 30 degrees inside. But in winter, if you want to have a bread in 3 hours, it's good to have the water warm. I'll put some more water. And let's see. You have put too much. And that's the reason you end up with 10 kilos of bread, because I don't count, and I cannot count on this one. I cannot measure actually. Many times it is so humid that you have to add flour and flour and flour and flour, and then you have a loaf of 8 kilos instead of 6. This one that is sticky, like, it's very, very sticky, this thing. It's enough for bread. If you want to be very humid inside, this is okay. You don't need more flour. I don't like to be very humid because I have to roast every piece of bread that I'm eating. So I end up eating only the crust. But as I said before, it looks like it's wet. Opa. These guys that are doing the videos professionally, they give a lot of time into this. We're a bit amateurs here. I don't have a budget to cut and do all these nice things that you see, nor I have the appetite also to do that, even if I learn how to do it. This is very soft. I want to add some more flour. And I will mix it a bit more. It's heavy and it's hard, this flour. It's not like the glutenous easy one. And because we don't care so much about the development of the gluten, because there is almost nothing inside, we don't need necessarily to let it rest. It's still very wet. That's a nice bouquet, eh? Bread. Some more. Measure carefully. As my French-American chef that I really like, his style says. This will disappear, don't worry. If you think that it's a lot of flour, you just need a lot of kneading. So I think I overdid it with the flour this time. It starts to become dry. Yeah, it's very hard. This is just experience, but this is what we need to have. To lift just a bit on your hand. This is, but I have more flour left down here. It's mixed with the dough, and I don't want to throw it away. I will put a bit more water. And a bit more. This way. And we will continue with the kneading. So you understand how I end up with a much bigger bread than I usually need. But I don't care, of course. I mean, we give it to friends. But you really need a lot of strength. And it's very difficult if I have the camera that I'm hitting with my shoulder. I cannot push. It's going better. Whoop. It's ready. If you have, I cannot see it in the camera. You see this little flour here. We want to mix it really well, okay? We don't want things that are dry here and wet there. Just mix it. And all this time that I'm kneading is enough for the whatever is inside of gluten, the quantity, to develop and make it a bit elastic, which is not, as this is a very difficult bread. If you have a camera and try to shoot the video. It's already difficult. Oh God. Oh. You see what I do, eh? I just turn it. You press 90 degrees and then again. And then again till it's ready. And we have a nice dough here. And this is our bread ready. Now let's do some non-sticky coating where we will put it to bake. If you put the bread here, it will be half of it on the wall and we will throw it away. I don't want to use these cooking papers. These things, I think they are not paper. If it was paper, it would burn. So I don't want to trust what they have inside there. Plus, we said that we use the coating for the next bread, it gives flavor. This thing is called the stackovutiro. I think it's Cretan, this thing only. And